names again of those people who need to see me about their contract, because you did not put your initials on what you're supposed to. That's Rose Downey, Amira Hamzeva, John McHale, Zoe Miranda, Ethan Moulton, and Amaris McGreer. So make sure you see me.
Okay, so...
Oh, one more thing. Girls, do not wear short skirts. This is a stage, and the audience will have more to see than I want them to see if you wear short.
The primary practice is to know how you're going to move on stage and off stage. So officers and our speaker, who's going to be our teacher of the year, Mr. Davies, is our keynote, so you can applaud him. You can applaud Ms. Keith, by the way. She has over 50 years of service in education, and NHS sponsor since 1988. So ask your parents if they went to the school, if they remember her and NHS, but we've done a whole generational cycle at least, right? Okay. Oh, okay. So, well, that's Katie. Yeah, Katie Wynn. So that's, yeah. I've known her since before she was born. Right. Your mom's been teaching here theoretically for 35 years or something. So, okay. Only theoretically. The process here is, again, podium will be up there. There'll be a table here that will have ultimately the certificates and the membership card. The first person, I'll sort of do the walk, and then we'll sort of put everybody through. There'll be an officer that'll sort of signal like they do at graduation, like the row should rise, and then you would move this way. You'll sort of queue up here and there. Might block them, but who cares? And ultimately you come on up. Typically here there'll be a handshaker, like Sparker and Davies, you can handshake if you want. The other thing would be you get your membership card, you get your certificate. On this side, you ultimately do the handshakes typically here. You'll sort of maneuver around the podium that'll probably be here, and on your way down you would get the candle, which I was previously holding. Don't turn it on until you're instructed in the script, you know, the sort of lighting the candle of knowledge, which is a symbol of NHS and all. But once you get the candle, you walk down the stairs. The way this would go, so let's move them, I guess, at this point. So Ms. Russell, you can start the flow. So first row would rise, she would be coming up this way. You can sort of, if the officers want to come up here and shake them, you know, you guys want to fist bump? It doesn't matter for today, so let's do it this way. That's the way we're going to orient it, is A's will be there alphabetically. So the earlier alphabet will be on this side, later alphabet will be that side, but whatever. So let's just let them run. You can see in the PowerPoint that you got in Remind who you're seated next to, and if there is any spelling mistakes in your name, if you guys want to fist bump them while they're up here, or give them a handshake, you can do that. Yeah, so you can run through that, and let's sort of do this alphabetically as it maybe goes. So I will probably be the one that directs you on this side, or you sort of follow the masses. So once you come down stage, don't cut back to your seat. Keep coming this way. So we don't want to block anybody's view necessarily. And early alphabet are the seniors. We'll do this first, obviously. But they would come on back, hook a left turn into this little space. And you should sort of see where you're going to probably end up standing when you sort of turn your candle on, or you light your candle of knowledge. So you come all the way to the other side, and then you cycle down. So while some people are still going up, these folks will be coming down, and that's fine. But she, for example, will not go past the first row. So like first person, whoever's Allison, for example, would be here. So you would stop here, you sort of queue up, don't be too close to each other. And you guys, would keep filling in. At a certain point, let's probably say after Peyton, maybe? So you can go that way. So there might be some overflow where you end up here, you would go down. And again, this might be where it's slightly awkward, people going up while people are coming down, but our goal is to sort of fill the 3 or I guess 4 rows and then put people on the back after that. So you could pause, like that. I would probably pause until the final row has gone, so the final row can stand up. and you are heading to the stage. You still chill here. I'll probably be like here by the time we get to this part of it. Like you might pause there. And then, yeah, you guys would go down. This might be that whole row. So somewhere you can sort of see where this is at. The early junior alphabet will probably be in that second row. The D's to the F's or so will probably be this row. So yeah, keep coming down. Stop at the first row, yeah, good. Does Keith, anything you want to say? And then you guys can come down. So, yeah. Up at the first row. So we're filling the third row now, and the later alphabet will not have to walk as far. So yeah, you guys would keep moving. So this is sort of to see how we fit, because we got a little bit more than last year. So probably pause if you. Yeah, or JoJo, stop. So typically at this point, once you fill the third row, I'll probably be here and I'll say, like, let's have you walk that way. So we might, you can stay down. But we're sort of filling backside until, you know, the last person's off the stage. So probably the M's keep coming around. And you got more dance floor back here. So again, if you wanted more space, you got it. So we're sort of gonna fill, you know, the 4 rows. So you can probably stop at that point, or you guys can be in that row if you want to. Is this about it, Miss Keith? So yeah, you can go that way. And you guys will sort of, again, not pick a row. You'll sort of just be the back row back here, and we'll sort of figure out how that flows. But you, for the most part, would be row 1 down there if you want to slide a little further back. Okay, and now you would turn on your candle if you want to sort of do a fake candle and raise it. You'll be holding a certificate, you'll be holding a card, you'll be holding a candle. You will ultimately return the candle to us in boxes once we conclude the formal whatevers. Ms. Myers, you can sort of go back up to PowerPoint and check, well, not that fast, but that you can sort of check that spellings on names is correct, because some people may not want this as the name on their certificate. We have printed the certificates, so again, if there's a name change, we might have to reprint you, which is kind of a hassle. But okay, Ms. Keith, you got anything you want to say about attitude, dress? We have a plaid, yes. Okay, the thing to say is, again, be in your seat by like 5:50 would be ideal. We will start pretty much on time at 6 with the script. There will be JROTC people at one point. Once it is over, you know, when we sort of say, you know, return to your seats, you would return to your seats as orderly as you could, and then we would exit you. There should be cupcakes and drinks out there, but that somewhat ties to whether the seniors donate it, or if you guys want to do for your first semester hours, if you want to donate. Do you want to speak to that?
I mean, if you donate, cupcakes, cookies, or water, we'll give you half an hour generally for each pack. So do we want to put, or soda, do you want to put a cap on hours?
It's probably cap on 1, and it's probably 6-pack of cupcakes at half an hour, 12-pack of water just at half an hour, so you're doubling that up by 24 hours. So do we have any questions? If we want to raise a hand and chat a question now about the process.
If you haven't voted yet for the contract, please come to the media center. If you have not voted yet for the contract, all teachers, please come to the media center.
Do we have any?
You might not be in that same spot that you are now on Thursday. Just keep in mind, we're going to be a little flexible. We don't want this tail hanging out. So
We might be able to just do the 4. Do you want to just do the 4 rows and nobody in the back column, or we'll see how it goes? So we'll see how it goes. Again, if you're in the earlier back of a row, like you might be cut at a different spot slightly because you guys are not perfectly alphabetic. But again, this is kind of the flow of it. We used to do a major dinner with this thing, but again, that got to be too much of a hassle. So there is a little dessert afterwards, but it is student donations for anything on the cupcakes, Chips Ahoy bags, or you can do Frito-Lay chips if you want to do chips even, probably. But the splurge will be your senior banquet at the end of the year. Anything else of memories from last year you guys want to speak to? So, you want to keep them at standing? What time are we? Yeah, again, we still got 8 minutes if anybody has any questions, or otherwise, again, most of this is new. The other things I guess I would say on the you guys side, there will be a Google form at the end of the first quarter, but that is for existing members. You guys would not need to submit until semester, but you would submit the Google form in the same way you sort of did the application, with a detailed, itemized, these are my hours, and he runs again the checks. So you should typically, like if you're coming to my classroom to drop off water or cupcakes tomorrow or in the early part of Thursday, you know, that'll count as part of your semester hours, but you probably want to take a selfie, like almost anything that you do, but don't send it to Jensen unless Jensen asks for it, probably. Otherwise it gets, you know, swamped with remind photos, right? And do you want to speak to the theme, since I don't think we're going to talk about that tomorrow, probably? You'll see this somewhat in the induction script, that we're going to sort of talk about the pillars and the themes a little bit more.
So our theme for the year is power to the people, because my goal this year is that the people of NHS become more involved and demonstrate their abilities to help their community more. And by that I mean any ideas you guys have for service, ways to better the community, ways to let your fellow peers get some volunteering opportunities. Just message me, any of us, and we can get that started for you, and it's just a better for everyone.
Okay, the one other thing that is new, you want to show them one of the bags. So this is our treasurer. We have a good existing account balance, and our other revenue stream besides dues is the Gong Show. That, you know, $5 times 700 tickets, even with the broken chairs, I guess. That ultimately that gets split with the theater, so we should take in $17.50 if we sell out, but we need your help to sell out. We did not quite sell out last year, which was a little surprising. So again, we're going to do the sign-up sheet in the upcoming service for the last week of ticket sales, where you just sort of flood, you know, the lunch period and try to sell. But in the next 3 weeks, or the next 2 weeks, I guess it is, you can start selling now. You would take a bag of 25. It's $5 per times 25, so you ultimately have $125 when you turn it back into us. This would be 1 hour of service, is to try to get Gong Show. I do believe Miss C would still take Gong Show performers, so if anybody in the auditorium right now wants to get a group together or perform solo, you can do that. I think that's 3 hours or 4 hours, or it's a lot of hours typically, because you have to do practice and some other stuff. But the Gong Show ticket sales, we're going to sort of do it this: give it to you. You're responsible for $125 coming back our way, or whatever you can sell and whatever remaining tickets you haven't sold, and to deliver those by Friday next week. So if anybody wants to start the process of selling Gong Show tickets, you could do that right now, or you could come to my classroom and I can give you a bag. Otherwise, we're going to sort of switch up, but I need all the bags back by Friday next week, and then we'll sort of sell it in a different style in that final week. So again, cupcakes, if you want to, start selling Gong Show tickets, see Riley right now. And if anybody does have the contract to turn in, give it to me. If anybody can't figure out how to pay online, bring $20 before school tomorrow to C14. Her office is C16 in the Crooked Hallway close to mine, and Ms. Keith will be on and off campus at times. So, you know, typically anything financial goes through me. Servicey, decorative stuff, and bulletin board things sort of go through Ms. Keith. Or any questions about like whether hours count or don't count would be a sort of Ms. Keith archive question, I guess. Okay, so welcome to NHS. Any cheers you want to lead? You want to badmouth some Philly fans? Go ahead. Okay, so again, bring me contracts, hit him if you want to start selling Gong Show tickets, go buy some cupcakes or water, soda tonight.